Yes, I think we are live. What's going on, everybody? Patrick over here at Ghost Picks ATS, coming at you with a little late night Thursday night football talk. Some great insight, I think. Put a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of analysis into this game in the offseason. I've been ready for this game for a long time, so welcome aboard. Let's roll. Let's get some plays in here before kickoff here in about 40 minutes or so. If you would like to start it off, we'll say this a couple times. Link down in the description. You can get the top tier play of the day. It's $20. 3-0 in prime time so far on the right sides of all of them. We're on the Bills -2.5 plus the alternate line. We're on the Bucks and we're on the Seahawks. So on the right side of all three primetime NFL games, a couple people call me Primetime Pat for a reason. So we will get after it here today. But first, get on into some props. So all the props free, all here on YouTube. So go ahead, you can place all those, put those in. Great insight there. If you want the top tier side, $20 down in the description. Let's ride. You get an automatic download, comes up right there with the purchase. But with that being said, started off with Juju SmithSchuster. So last week, the Chargers versus the Cardinals. Juju had all of his numbers in the first half of last week. If they would have been in a tighter game against the Cardinals, I firmly believe that this number for Juju SmithSchuster would be set at like 7.5, potentially 7 or like 7 juiced. His reception total is 5.5, and it is plus 115. I'm a huge fan of that today. He had 6 catches pretty much in the first half last week, and really the Chiefs went all out run in the second half, pretty much just milked the clock. They were beating the brakes off the Cardinals. So in a game where the Chargers are 100% going to be running some two deep safety, they're going to be the underneath routes will be there. So Juju in the slot. I know the Chargers have phenomenal quarterbacks across the board, cornerbacks across the board. But Juju out of the slot, 5.5 receptions at plus money. I think that is pretty much a gift. I think they're going to utilize him pretty often, especially with Derwin James being all over Travis Kelce. So, in my opinion here, we're going to get Asante Samuel or somebody smaller in the slot on Juju Smith, who's a big receiver, and that's going to open up some space. Travis Kelce will be locked up on Derwin James. Kelce has had some monster games versus the Chargers in the past, and I think that's mainly because of Tyreek Hill. The Chargers always play that two deep safety. They want to prevent the deep play, so that is why Tyreek Hill didn't maybe have the best games against the Chargers. But Travis Kelce really was boom or bust. Last year, I think he had 2 games with like 20 catches, 250 total yards in those 2 games. But with no Tyreek Hill to stretch the field on the outside, I do believe that they will kind of hone in a little more on Kelce, and that opens the field for Juju in the slot on the opposite side. So give me Juju's prop over 5.5 receptions at plus 115. I'm a big fan of that one here today. On the opposite side of the ball, Josh Palmer comes and steps right up. Last year, if you were with me, the one game Keenan was out, we went straight to it and smacked Josh Palmer's props, his touchdowns, hit them both. We're doing it again. Josh Palmer, anytime touchdown is plus 280. I will be all over that one. I am all over that one. And Josh Palmer over 44.5 receiving yards. I think both those plays are very, very, very feasible here today. And I'll be rocking them. Josh Palmer on the opposite side. So they've got Mike Williams now, Gerald Everett, Austin Eckler. They've got a lot of pieces in this Chargers offense. We saw DeAndre Carter step in last week when Keenan Allen was locked. When Keenan Allen went out with the hamstring. Keenan is the best receiver on that team without a doubt. He's one of the best receivers in the NFL, one of the best route runners in the NFL, 100%. So with that. All that mix of things going on right there. The size of Mike Williams, I think, will be a θέμα. I think the Chiefs are going to have to slide somebody over to Mike Williams a little more, which is going to open the field for Josh Palmer. He's, second and third year guy out of Tennessee. He's got some real talent. He just stuck behind Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. So look for him today, over 44.5 receiving yards. His anytime TD is plus 280. For him to score the first touchdown is plus 1,800, little sprinkle there. So Recap. Juju SmithSchuster over 5.5 receptions at plus 115. Big fan with Derwin James on Kelsey. That slot with his size, I think it's a great mismatch there, especially against two high safety. The underneath routes are going to be open there for Juju. He could have 6 catches for 35 yards for all I care. But those little dink-dunk Mahomes, his accuracy, his completion percentage should be pretty high tonight on those short throws. So receptions is what I'm looking at there. And shoot, I also am leaning. I like that first half under. So, that one is a premium play as well. If you would like the premium side, my top tier play of the day, you can hit that down in the description. $20, write up, everything included, automatic purchase. You purchase it, gets automatic sent right to the emails. And big play tonight. 3-0 in primetime games on side so far this year. We're on the Bills, the Bucks, and the Seahawks. We're going for 4-0 tonight. Yeah, that's what I got. If I'm looking for DFS showdown, that is what I am looking for here today. I'm going to actually build one right now while on here with you all, so bear with me here. So if I'm looking at Prize Picks parlay of the day, I like what I see right there. Juju Smith-Schuster, his receptions is over 5. Jordan Palmer's yards over as well. I think that Patrick Mahomes' pass attempts, I think that's kind of a sharper angle. Maybe not as much yards because he's going to definitely be throwing the ball. The screen, short throws, Mecole Hardman, getting everybody involved. It's sitting at 39.5. I kind of like that over as well. Even though the Chargers will be looking to keep that clock ticking, a.k.a. why I like the first half under. We've seen Brandon Staley in these games against the Chiefs kind of play a little bit of a different philosophy. Last week, 4th and 1, he did punt the rock on 4th and 1, which is a big surprise, which is definitely a bonus to the under as well. So, recap. Juju over receptions on Prize Picks and Josh Palmer over yards on Prize Picks. I like that little twofer there. Definitely like that little twofer. Looking at DraftKings and building out a DFS showdown. So if you're looking for a 50-50, you're looking for the safe route, trying to beat half the people. I don't normally suggest that when playing on a one-night showdown. It's tough in my opinion. It really depends on, especially it's tough. But I like boom or bust on these kind of nights. So you're looking for maybe a guy or two who's not going to be the highest owned and put him as your captain. So just about everybody, I imagine, is probably going to be going with either Kelsey, Mahomes, or Herbert, or Mike Williams. So if we can avoid those 4 in the primetime spot, then if one of our other guys goes off, we're in a great spot to save a little bread and put some good guys out there. So building my team, I'm going to do 2 of them. One of them built around Juju Smith-Schuster, and then one of them built around Josh Palmer. Now, the one with Josh Palmer, he's only $7,500 for the top-tier showdown guy, which means that he's dirt cheap, absolutely dirt cheap. You can fit both quarterbacks in there with him and really just stack your squad. If you go for somebody like Juju, you're probably going to have to stack one quarterback, not the other, and maybe go for the receivers on the other side. So starting out with Juju, Juju's $1,200 as the top dog there. And obviously, if you're going Juju, you're probably going to want to go Mahomes. But that would be the popular route. So if you think that somehow Juju could just be the lone dog for the Kansas City Chiefs and you could stack the rest of the Chargers, that would be a very that'd be kind of it'd be a lower owned squad. And when you're playing, a single game format, you're looking for those type of players where it's going to be low owned. So if you were to do that, kind of going crazy, you go with Juju as your showdown. Hopefully he gets in the end zone twice and for 100 yards, and that'd be a phenomenal start. It doesn't matter who else you got in the Chiefs if he does that. And you go with Herbert, Mike Williams, and Jordan Palmer, Gerald Everett, and it still leaves you. You can go with any. That's a little bit of a weak one there, a little weak final option with Valdez-Scantling. But this is another game. I think that kickers, people always underestimate the kickers in a game like this. We've got a total sitting at 54, which means the kickers should probably be out there a decent amount of times. I think these two offenses can hum. Kind of the reason I like the under, I think we could see some field goals in this game. So, with that being said, the Chiefs don't have Butker. They've got their backup kicker. So I'll lay off the Chiefs kicker here today and go with Hopkins for the Chargers. You can really load up your squad if you put Juju as your DraftKings showdown leader or with Jordan Palmer as your DraftKings showdown leader. If you put one of them along with the kicker, every single person is available. So you can stack your squads with some of the best players in the game and really hope for just to beat the market. Everybody's going to be on Kelsey. Everybody's going to be on Mahomes. Everybody's going to be on Herbert. If you go on the other three guys, you get a little boost and you get a little higher percentage to win the big bread. Now these ones, I'm talking about the tournament-style showdowns. We're putting, 10, 5, 10, 20 bucks, depending on how much you do, and looking to be in the top 5%. And to do that, you're going to have to be different, which nothing wrong with that. So, with that being said, let's see what we got here. If we go with Juju as our leader, our head dog, and then Herbert with Palmer and Mike Williams, and you got to get the kicker in there as well, then that leaves Clyde Edwards-Helaire. That would most likely 100% be a boom or bust squad. It'd be low owned if you're looking to win that way. You could also flip it around. If you are looking for Juju as your top dog, you could stack the captains. You could stack all. You could go Mahomes. I probably would avoid Helaire, but you could go Juju with Mahomes, and maybe Herbert and Palmer, and then you could also get Valdez-Scantling. You could get Hardman. You could get all kinds of different options in there. So I'll tell you the one that I'm probably going to roll with if I'm looking to win some bread. If I'm looking for first place with a low-owned squad, I'm going to go with Palmer as my guy. I'm going to go with Mahomes. I'm going to go with Herbert. And I'm going to skip over Kelsey just in that Derwin-James matchup. I don't hate it, but I'd rather go another route. So let me see what we end up with here. Bada bing, bada boom. So if we have... All right, shoot. I like this actually a pretty good amount right here. So Jordan Palmer as our DFS showdown captain. That's what I'm going with, number one. Number two, I'm going with both quarterbacks, Mahomes and Herbert. I think both those guys, obviously when you're going for a lower tier showdown captain, you're looking to get both studs in there. Hopefully they both get 20 or something at the quarterback position, and then you're looking great. Kelsey will be extremely high owned, so we're going to skip over Kelsey and Eckler. Kelsey and Eckler we're going to skip over. And then we're going to go to that next tier of players. And I think there's some pretty damn good receivers. So you got Mike Williams at 9,000. You get Juju at 8,000. And that's my squad, which leaves one spot and $2,500. And that is where you make your money, is on that final guy. So Josh Palmer is a showdown captain with Herbert, Mahomes, Smith-Schuster, and Mike Williams. And that last one leaves you with either Sky Moore, Josh Kelly, Jalen Guyton. Yeah, nobody. But Jalen Guyton in games without Keenan Allen gets a bump in his his yards. So he got one target last week or whatever against the Raiders, but his playing time increased as soon as Keenan Allen went out of the game. I'll throw Guyton in there, and he's a prayer essentially. And even with Guyton, he could still score maybe 5 points, and that'd be triple his price, and that's what you're looking for. And Lord knows if he scores a touchdown, then you are in the driver's seat to make some bread. If somehow Palmer and Guyton both get into the end zone, first place is definitely in the making. So we're looking for big tournaments, low dollars. We're not putting anything crazy on that one. Let's get wild. Plays of the day: Juju over 5.5 if you're just joining, plus 115. Josh Palmer over 44.5 yards. Josh Palmer anytime TD. Josh Palmer first TD. Little sprinkles on those there. And then also like the first half under. And if you want the premium play, top tier play of the day with Primetime Pat, links in the description. Available for automatic download and whatnot. But if not, good luck. God bless. Grind on. See you on the other side. We'll get you back here tomorrow. College football. Big week of college football as always. Friday night college football is one of my favorite days of sports betting. just because of the lack of games. Vegas is always on their P's and Q's, really dial in. So Friday night, I'll have a free top tier tomorrow night for you guys. So thanks for tuning in. Good luck. God bless. Grind on. Let's go get them.